try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in rivers, and the tears come streaming down your face, when you lose something you can't replace, when you love someone but it goes to waste.
Tried to get out of the relationship. He held a knife to my stomach on one occasion, and another occasion he smashed my head into the wall, made out it was an accident.
My self-esteem was at rock bottom. He was very derogatory about me as a person, about my looks, my clothes, my everything. He was just very unpleasant most of the time. I always ended up saying sorry, even though I hadn't done anything, just to keep the peace.
The reauthorization of this act took place on March 7, 2013 by President Barack Obama. The Act's 2013 renewal was opposed by conservative Republicans who objected to extending the Act's protections to same-sex couples and to provisions allowing battered, undocumented individuals to claim temporary visas. In April 2012, the Senate voted to reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act, and the House passed it. The omitted provisions of the Senate bill that would protect gays, Native Americans living in reservations, and undocumented individuals who are victims of domestic violence.
The whole point of the Violence Against Women's Act is to provide more institutional resources for domestic violence victims. In order to accomplish that, the law expanded the network of rape crisis centers and domestic violence shelters across the country, as well as established the National Domestic Violence Hotline.
In 1981, Domestic Violence Week began as a recognition that law enforcement alone could not solve this issue. Because of the Violence Against Women's Act, officers can perform a warrantless arrest if there is probable cause. This allows more efficient responses from law enforcement agencies.
The Vice President traveled to the Department of the Interior for the signing of the Violence Against Women Act, which continues to strengthen the criminal justice system's response to crimes against women, including domestic violence, sexual assault, and trafficking. They were joined by women's organizations, law enforcement officials, tribal leaders, advocates, and members of Congress who'd worked a long time to get this legislation passed.
We've made incredible progress since 1994, but we cannot let up. Not when domestic violence still kills 3 women a day. Reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act is something I called for in my State of the Union address, and when I see how quick it got done, makes me feel optimistic.
Down your face.